Spies, espionage, and double agents. Some of the most gripping stories from World War II never made the history books, but they did make it to film. Some are based on true missions, others just feel like they could have been. And if you stick around to the end, there's one final pick for the true connoisseurs of wartime intrigue. The Two-Headed Spy follows a Nazi general working deep inside Hitler's regime, while secretly passing intelligence to the Allies. Jack Hawkins plays the lead with steely restraint in a story inspired by General Alexis von Rouen, a real German officer believed to have sabotaged Nazi plans from within. As war rages outside, the real battle here is psychological. Whispered codes, shifting loyalties, and the constant threat of exposure. Unlike most war films of the era, it ditches battlefield heroics for paranoia and moral tension. It was also one of the first British films to openly explore espionage from inside the Nazi command. Taut, sharp, and largely forgotten, it's a spy story that stares straight into the heart of complicity and chooses betrayal for the greater good. Based on the true story of Violette Szabo, Carve Her Name with Pride tells the remarkable tale of a young British widow who joined the Special Operations Executive and parachuted into Nazi-occupied France. Virginia McKenna stars as Szabo, portraying her transformation from grieving mother to fearless resistance courier. The film draws from Szabo's posthumously published biography and real wartime records. She was awarded the George Cross for her bravery. While it avoids overt sensationalism, it doesn't shy away from the danger she faced, or the quiet strength she carried. One haunting detail: Szabo's final mission took place just months before the liberation of France. Shot with understated grit, the film honors not just one woman's courage, but the unsung network of female agents who risked everything behind enemy lines. The Man Who Never Was tells the true story behind one of the most audacious deception operations of World War II. Operation Mincemeat. When British intelligence needed to mislead the Nazis about the Allied invasion of southern Europe, they planted fake documents on a corpse and let it wash ashore in Spain. It worked. This 1956 film stars Clifton Webb as the intelligence officer orchestrating the plan, with a tight procedural tone that keeps the tension sharp, even without gunfire or explosions. It's a talky spy thriller, but a good one, and a rare case where the real-life mission was even stranger than the fiction. For fans of slow-burn strategy over spectacle, this one hits the mark. William Holden stars in The Counterfeit Trader as Eric Erickson, an American-born oil executive living in Sweden who's blackmailed by Allied intelligence into spying on Nazi Germany. Life story of Erickson. The film traces his reluctant transformation from neutral businessman to undercover operative inside the Third Reich's industrial core. Directed by George Seaton and adapted from the book by Alexander Klein, it avoids flash and focuses instead on psychological suspense. How long can someone live a lie when the stakes are life and death? With location shooting across Europe and a haunting score by Alfred Newman, the film builds tension not through shootouts, but silence, suspicion, and surveillance. It's a slow burn, but a gripping one. Five Fingers tells the true story of Eliasa Bosna, a valet at the British Embassy in Ankara, who sold top-secret Allied documents to the Nazis under the codename Cicero. James Mason stars as the smooth-talking opportunist who plays both sides for profit, not politics. Directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz and adapted from the best-selling book Operation Cicero, the film leans into its elegance, set in Turkish embassies and backroom meetings rather than battlefields. It's less about heroism and more about leverage, deception, and how easily secrets can change hands. With sharp dialogue and a dry wit, Five Fingers stands out as a rare spy film where charm, not violence, drives the story. The Silver Fleet centers on a Dutch shipbuilder who pretends to collaborate with the Nazis, while secretly aiding the resistance. Set in occupied Holland, the story was inspired by real acts of sabotage carried out by engineers and factory workers across Europe during the war. It was produced anonymously by Powell and Pressburger under the banner of The Archers, though their names weren't credited on screen. Ralph Richardson stars as the outwardly compliant director, playing a long game against his occupiers. Made during the war, the film balances propaganda with genuine suspense, using coded glances and small betrayals to build tension. It's a low-budget story told with restraint, and with real stakes at the time of its release. Ill Met by Moonlight dramatizes the daring real-life mission to kidnap a German general from the island of Crete. Based on the memoir by W. Stanley Moss, the film stars Dirk Bogarde as Major Patrick Lee Fermor, a British officer who led the operation while working with members of the Greek resistance. Directed by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, it's one of their lesser-known works, focused more on tension and atmosphere than their usual visual flair. Shot partly on location and steeped in shadowy mountain passes and narrow escapes, it plays more like a cat-and-mouse thriller than a war epic. The true story was a headline grabber in its day, but the film has quietly faded, making it a worthy rediscovery. Set in the final months of World War II, Decision Before Dawn follows a group of German POWs recruited by U.S. intelligence to spy on their former comrades. Oscar Werner plays Happy, a young idealist chosen to slip back into Germany and gather intel before a major Allied offensive. Directed by Anatol Litvak, and based on the novel Call It Treason by George Howe, the film was one of the first Hollywood productions shot on location in post-war Germany. Its ruined cities and bombed-out roads give the film a stark realism, while its story examines the risks of trusting men with shifting loyalties. Tense, quiet, and morally complex, it offers a rare look at wartime espionage from behind enemy lines. Set during World War I but pulsing with the tension of what was to come, The Spy in Black follows a German U-boat captain sent to the Scottish coast on a covert mission to sabotage the British fleet. Conrad Veidt stars as the officer torn between duty and doubt when his contact, a schoolteacher posing as a traitor, may not be who she seems. Directed by Michael Powell with a script by Emmerich Pressburger, this was the film that launched their legendary partnership. Though released just weeks before the outbreak of World War II, it's remarkably modern in tone, full of tight suspense, sharp reversals, and psychological conflict. Less well known than their later work, but no less gripping. Morituri stars Marlon Brando as a German pacifist, forced by British intelligence to impersonate an SS officer aboard a blockade-running cargo ship. His mission: sabotage the scuttling charges before the ship reaches Japan. Yul Brynner co-stars as the wary captain, despite strong performances and a tense, espionage-driven plot. The film flopped at the box office. Critics pointed to its confusing Latin title, slow pacing, and Brando's fading popularity at the time. But behind its commercial failure is a smart, morally layered thriller that asks what loyalty means when no one can be trusted. Shot in stark black and white and directed by Bernhard Wicki, it's a film that plays better now than it did in 1965, suspenseful, grim, and quietly ahead of its time. Set in a fictionalized East Germany during the height of World War II, Top Secret is not a film to take lightly. With its heavy subject matter and brutally realistic depiction of wartime espionage, it follows American rock singer Nick Rivers, whose musical tour is merely a cover for a daring Allied mission. Val Kilmer delivers a remarkably committed performance in his feature debut, navigating high-stakes sabotage, resistance fighters, and the psychological toll of undercover work, all while performing genre-defying musical numbers.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
From underwater bar fights to livestock-assisted escapes, Top Secret is a powerful reminder that in war, the first casualty is subtlety. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more glimpses behind the velvet curtain.